Hello and welcome to Bakerstreet.coasters, where today we're going to be on about, well, I am going to be on about my opinion of the Alton Towers Scarefest and all its lineup. So we have seen over the weeks there have been many different new mazes, old mazes, original mazes returning to this year's Scarefest, and I want to discuss what I think of the overall lineup now that we have them all. So let's just get it in first. We have Burial Grounds, which is a scare attraction next to the Wicker Man. It is themed around the Wicker Man. We have Compound, which is a new scare maze this year, confirmed yesterday, so the 28th of August. And basically, it's themed around the Nemesis Younglings. It has a really good storyline to it, and you know, it just looks really good, and they've really hyped it up quite a lot. Then you've also got another new one, Amigos in the Afterlife, which will take place in the Alton Towers dungeon, and basically this area is going to be, or this scare attraction is going to be a little bit like the House of Monsters which we used to have back at Alton Towers back in the day at Scarefest. And then we have the Attic, which wasn't here last year, I don't think, but it was here the year before. And I went in it. It was very good. It's themed in the towers, and basically just takes you around the towers and its attics. We've had different versions of this, such as the basement, and I don't know what else, the tower, the original. But yeah, it's another scare maze. One of the worst scare mazes apparently, but I'm not quite sure about Compound yet. Trying to think what else. Oh, Autumnville Mine Tours, Tiny's Revenge. I mean, I haven't been in this, but I've been in the original one, but that looks really good to experience. And then we've also got some other scare stuff happening, such as the free. So I actually don't know. Freaky Friday or the free. Is it Freaky Friday? No, it's the Freaky Five. I think it is coming back, because Alton Towers used to have these mascots at Scarefest, where basically it was like a mummy and a vampire. I think it was. I don't know who it was. But I don't know if they're coming back, because there was a little bit of a scenery piece which used to go in the middle of one of the Tower Street entrance gardens. And basically it was just them in a car. Now that wasn't there last year, and I remember that being, I've had photos of it when I was like 2016, so I'm not quite sure where that's gone, and I'm not quite sure what's happened to the Freaky Five, but I'm pretty sure they're back. I haven't got my mouse with me, so unfortunately I can't, just go and click on it and just show you. And then we've also got Sea Bibbies and their little Scarefest thing. I don't know what they do for that. I think is it Sin Bin they normally do, which is like their theatre. No, it's not theatre, but it's like it's on the stage. It would be really cool to see the stage have a cover on it this time, so basically you just sit under it in the winter months, because it's October and then it gets really cold at night. And then we can also experience Devise at Dark. Now this is all the Scarefest Scarefest updates. This is all the stuff that has been announced, and I have to say it looks very, very promising for the park. However, there are some things which I would have changed this year's Scarefest. And firstly, it's the attic. Now, the attic's been there for quite a while, and if you think going in the scare maze like 2 years ago, I don't remember it as much, but if you went in it like last year, and it was there last year, if it was, you would think that they would have changed it by now. It's been going on for quite a while. Apparently not. So I'm pretty sure that is the next scare maze, which is meant to be changing because it's quite old. They did Autumnville Mine Tours. It went from the Return of the Skin Snatchers, or Revenge of the Skin Snatchers, to Tiny's Revenge. They redid that, and that literally is by X Sector, the entrance to X Sector. You go into this little bridge to then find out you're like in some sort of like mine place. And then you also have the Compound. Now Compound looks very, very good, and I did a whole review on this yesterday, so if you do want to go and watch that, you can go and watch it on my YouTube. But yeah, Compound looks very good. It's themed into Nemesis and the Nemesis Younglings. We've got a new person who's announcing this, so we're not quite sure who that is. And basically, it just adds on to what we're going to see next. It's really good to see that this storyline has been continued with... I know there's been an exception of a huge gap between the start of Nemesis, then we've had Nemesis Reborn opening, and then we've had no information, and then we've got a new storyline coming back on. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but it'd be really cool to see Compound. It looks very good, and it's very well planned. We've also got Amigos in the Afterlife. Now, I did have some concerns at the start of this, but then I got told by Alton Towers that this will be a sort of, well, it'll be the same sort of layout that the House of Monsters, well, their original family scare maze, it's called the House of Monsters. it will be sort of like that, where basically you just go in and you're trying to escape the afterlife. It looks very good. It doesn't look the best as advertising, but you know, Alton Towers always creeps up in this advertising scheme and then this overall performance. But it'll be really cool to see how they use that space, because as we know, Alton Towers Dungeon used to have a ride. It also used to be home to Char and Chocolate Factory, the Dungeon, Twirl and Toys. It's always had that ride system. It'll be really cool to see if that ride system's still there, and if not, are they still using it? It very much varies. We shall not know until we go in it. We've also got Burial Barns. I never went in this. It is a themed place around the Wicker Man, which is like their second latest roller coaster. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But you know, it is free to go and you don't have to pay. It looks very good, and I would love to go in it this year, because I didn't go in it last year because we kind of left early. You also got this Simbin thing. I don't normally watch the shows which Alton Towers put on. You also got the Alton Ancestors. Yeah, again, another show. I met them. They're really good. But last year there was a few issues, because the day I went, they wasn't out. I had to basically ask Alton Towers to bring them out, because they weren't out in the expected times that they said they would be. So that's pretty concerning. But hopefully this year they are on target. Alton Towers Scarefest is on target with their stuff. Now, we haven't seen much targeted places themed around these attractions, such as Dark Forest. Now, it'll be really cool to see some sort of actors come back in the Dark Forest. It'll be really cool to see the TLC, what they did last year with the Curse of Alton Manor, be done this year. Basically, they themed it up exceptionally better than what it did on opening date, because there's like a lot of things not working, such as the Trumbull Tunnel and like a whole scene. The last time I went in it, it was like the whole area was just like shut off. That ride's got like its best dark ride in the UK when all the effects are working. And then you also have this Smiler. Now, we also know that Alton Towers this year, we did all the theming on the lights. I got to saw the Smiler lighting and stuff like that this year, which I think is really, really good. So it'll be really good to see all this just in the dark, amazing. But yeah, again, I'm not quite sure what will happen in the forthcoming weeks. Like less than 7 weeks now. That's scary. I think less than 6 weeks, 8. But yeah, like I said, it'll be really cool to see what other announcements they got, because they've cut a little bit. Well, they've announced it a little bit earlier. I mean, they've got gap for more stuff to be announced, and that's what Bianca said on her post. There's a lot more to be announced. So it'll be really cool to see the power of the towers really coming alive. But yeah, that is all for me. I just wanted to give you it looks very promising for this year's Scarefest. Many people didn't like the fact that there was like Amigos in the afterlife, but I didn't like it at the start. But now I've been told it's like some sort of layout which they used to do in the 2016 scare attraction, family scare attraction, named the House of Monsters. It would be really cool to see what they do with this, because it's very well themed to it's got a very good connection to what Halloween's all about. So yes, please remember to subscribe, smile always, and I shall also put out my Sea Life Centre vlog very, very soon, which I did go to Sea Life Centre today. Also got to do that vlog, but I should do it later. So yes, go and watch my Nemesis Compound video. I'll tell you my whole reviews on that, but I'll be very, very interested in how Alton Towers do this year's Scarefest. Bye, guys.